Ciao ragazzi, Marco here, welcome back to another ukulele lesson. Today I'm gonna show you a pretty awesome Spanish melody. Now I'm gonna play this short melody and then I'll tell you more about it. Now, first things first, we are in the key of G minor, and this Spanish chord progression is played with just 4 chords. We have the G minor chord, F major chord, E flat major chord, and the D major chord. So you can go ahead and practice the chords that sound super nice. You can strum them. Or you can play them with the simple finger picking pattern, thumb, index, middle, and ring. Now the first section of the melody sounds like this. So for the G minor, we're gonna play the melody here. We have the first note on the A string, fret number 5, 6, 5. Second string, fret number 8, and 6. So we have 3, 4, 1. And as you can see, we don't start on the first count. 3, 4, 1. Now for the second chord, the F major, the melody starts on the A string, the fret number 3, 5, 3. Second string, fret number 6 and 5. And it's the same rhythmic phrase. 1. Now the third phrase starts on the A string, the fret number 1. We have fret number 1, 3, 1, 0, and the second string, fret number 3. And we finish with the last chord, the A major. The melody is this one. So I have the first string open, fret number 1 open, and the third string, fret number 2. You can use the thumb to play this one if you want, or the index finger. Now the second time we play the melody again, we're gonna spice it up a little bit, and it sounds like this. So it's pretty cool. We have the melody on just one string, on the fret number 5, 6, 8, 6, and 5. For the second chord, the F major, same thing. So I have 3, 5, 6, 5, and 3. For the E flat major, it's a little bit of a stretchy phrase on the fret number 1, 3, 5, 3, and 1. And I like to use the finger 1, the finger 3, the finger 4, the finger 3, and the finger 1. But you can change it with finger 1, 2, and 4 if you want. It's totally up to you, as long as you get the rhythm right. And then the last chord, the D major, we're gonna play like this. we only have 2 notes, the first string open, second string fret number 2, and we finish with the G minor chord on the 3rd string fret number 7, second string fret number 6, and the first string fret number 5. We're going to arpeggiate this chord like this: 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. And I have it 1, 2, 3, and the 4th time I am just lightly strumming the chord. Now, of course, we can add just one single note that is going to make this section even more colorful. Of course, one note doesn't mean that things are still easy to play. In fact, one simple note can actually change how we play the entire thing. Let me explain. The idea is to add at least one note that can define the chord. And so we're going to add the root note of each chord at the beginning of each phrase. So let me play the section and then I'll tell you more about it. I'm just going to play it slowly so that you can, see what's going on. 3, 4. So what do we have? Well, with the first chord, we have the 4th string open. So now we have the 4th string with the thumb, and then we're going to play the phrase that we just learned. So we don't have to change absolutely anything in the left hand. And the bass note is on the first count. So 3, 4, and 1. For the second chord, the root note will be played on the 3rd string, fret number 5. So what I like to do, I like to play this note, of course, with the thumb, and then I play the fret 3 and 5 with the finger 1 and 3. And then when I go on the 2nd string, fret number 6, I get rid of the root note. So to make it easy. And the root note doesn't have to ring out throughout the entire phrase. The 3rd chord is pretty cool, the E flat major, because the root note is the same on the fret number 3 this time. So 3rd string, fret 3. And we have the phrase, which is slightly easier to play as we now have an open string. And for the last chord, we have the 3rd string fret number 2 with the melody played on the 1st string open, fret number 1 open, and then the 3rd string fret number 2 again with the thumb. Now we're going to do the same thing with the second section of the melody. We're not going to change absolutely anything with the left hand. So we learn the melody. So all we have to do now is to add the root note at the beginning of each phrase. For the G minor, things are simple because we play the 4th string open. For the F major, again, the fret number 5. Now this one can be a little stretchy since we have the root note on the fret number 5 and then the melody on the fret number 3, 5, and 6. So you don't have to hold the root note for, too long. I kind of get rid of it when I play the second note of the melody. Same thing with the 3rd chord, the E flat major. And for the last chord, we're only gonna play the 1st string open. Again, we already learned that. 2nd string, fret number 2, and then the G minor chord. Let me play the whole thing up to speed. 3, 4. Of course, people, we can make it even more fun to play by adding a strum at the beginning of each phrase. So, for example, we learned how to play the root note of each chord at the beginning of the phrase. Now, what we can do to make it even more Spanish and, impactful, we can add a chord which we're gonna strum. So instead of just playing the root note, we can strum the chord. And the cool thing is that these chords are not super challenging. And what I mean by that is, first of all, we're always going to have the fourth string open. So for the G minor chord, we're going to play 0, 7, 6, and 5. For the F major chord, we're going to play 0, 5, 5, and 3. For the E flat major, it's the same shape, just 2 frets back. We have 0, 3, 3, and 1. And for the A major, we can do 2 things. We can either have 0, 2, 2, and 0, or 2, 2, 2, and 0. It's totally up to you. I prefer to keep the fourth string open. So now I like to strum with the ring, middle, and index like this. So I kind of open my hand as I strum. It's ring, middle, and index. It's very quick. But of course you can just strum with the index. So this is the index. And this is with the 3 fingers. Now for the second phrase, we're gonna do the same thing. We just change chord and we play the F major. Third chord, the E flat major. And the last chord, the D major. I will go back. Now the awesome thing about this section is the fact that the chord doesn't have to ring out. You can actually strum it and then move on to the phrase. So you don't have to let it ring out. Now this is definitely something cool that you can practice, and you can implement these phrases in Spanish chord progressions that you already know. Now I'm gonna leave you to practice this Spanish melody. Let me know if you like the lesson down below. Keep practicing, keep playing, and I'll talk to you soon.